Right now, we want to introduce you to a woman you should get to know better. After all, she could become America's next First Lady. Ann Romney is being dubbed Mitt's secret weapon in the presidential race because of her likability. Well, tonight, you can be the judge as Ann reveals to me something that has never been reported before, her recent health scare while on the campaign trail.
What happens with me is that I start to almost lose my words. I almost can't think. I can't get words out. I start to stumble a little bit, and so those things were happening, and I thought, uh-oh, big trouble.
It was just last month when Ann suffered a debilitating MS attack. She kept her flare-up a secret.
I had a little bit of a scare. I didn't tell anybody. I was tired. I try to explain to people what MS is like. Most people have, when they go to empty, they have a reserve tank.
Yeah.
And with MS, you go to empty, you're on empty, that's it, you're done. And you literally collapse. You just can't even walk anymore. You can't even talk anymore. You're done. And that's where a place you don't ever want to go to.
Diagnosed with MS in 1998, the stay-at-home mom who has 16 grandchildren is being called the secret weapon in Mitt Romney's presidential campaign. Of course, just like Sarah Palin was, Ann and Mitt are being skewered on SNL.
Ann Romney, many are saying you're the irrepressible spark plug of this campaign.
I am.
You keep the energy up.
I do.
Any funny stories about Mitt on the campaign trail?
No.
There have been reports that he is going to make an appearance on SNL.
I think he should. I mean, I'll weigh in on that one. Who knows when he'll do it or how, but you know, I think at some point, I think it would be fun for him to do that.
Unfortunately, with our schedules, Ann and I don't get to nearly as many cockfights as we'd like.
So you think he's leaning towards it?
You know, I don't think he's making a decision yet.
How do you feel about the Michigan win?
Michigan was just another case of voters taking a look at Mitt Romney and saying, I guess.
Jason Sudeikis' impressions of your husband. What
Well,
does he
they're
think
funny.
of those?
They're
What do
not
you-
accurate, but they're funny.
How are they not accurate?
Because he is not, actually, Mitt is a very funny guy.
And
he's not, I mean, he doesn't comb his hair when we're, you know, not going places. It's like all over the place. And
He doesn't have perfectly coiffed hair when he wakes up in the morning.
He really doesn't.
Ann says she's never seen Kristen Wiig's impression of her, but she's heard a lot about it. Kristen herself invited Ann on the show.
Hi, Ann. Come on, SNL.
Would you ever do it? Would you make an appearance on SNL?
No
now
one
that you're
ever
being
has
put in the
thought about
spotlight?
me. I'm not funny. That has never even crossed my mind.
Really?
That's the first time. And yes, of course, that would be a great thrill.
SNL, are you listening?
Go book her now, SNL. Just give us the credit. And we have so much more with Ann. We are going to get far more in depth about her struggle with MS and how her past battle with breast cancer affects her today.
How has the hard hours and all the time you're putting into the campaign, how has it affected you?
Well, I like to joke. I said, for people that have MS, there's some sort of rules that we've got to follow. One is go to bed on time, don't have stress in your life, eat a balanced meals every day, and of course, being on the campaign trail, none of those things work. And it's been a hard thing for me to balance. If I feel myself getting a little off balance, a little unusually fatigued, I'm like, see you later.
What do they say about the future?
It's taught me so much. It may have scarred me, it may have left me a little bruised, but it's also left me with a heart that's more open and compassionate for others that are suffering.
There was another devastating turn for Ann. In 2008, she was diagnosed with a non-invasive type of breast cancer.
Yes. How bad was your breast cancer?
You know, I was one of the really lucky ones. Early diagnosis is so important, especially when it comes to cancer, and I was diagnosed very early, with a mammogram, regular mammogram. I still had to go through surgery and through radiation, and having the MS, it kind of really put me in a hole for a while. The radiation really kind of knocked me flat.
When we talked exclusively at the Palm 2 in New York City, Ann told me she gets therapy from her lifelong passion.
One of the best things that helps me, oddly enough, is getting on horses. It's the rhythm of the horse. It's the peacefulness of them. They have such a wonderful, solid feeling to them.
I had such a nice time talking with her. She's such a strong woman.